Hey,
Hey,
AMS. It's Trent and me and Jane here, and welcome back to this week's episode of AMS Talk, the podcast we bring you the latest news, events, and stories straight from the halls of AMS.
This week we'll be talking to Mrs. Kern and Owen Zupanik about the spelling bee. But first, let's go to Jaden for this week's events.
Hello, everyone. It's Jaden with the events at AMS for this week of January 20th, January 24, 2025. The theme for Theme Thursday will be Neon Day. Wear neon colors. On Monday, January 20th, Martin Luther King Day. No school. On Tuesday, January 21st, 7th grade and 8th grade boys basketball at home against East, and 7th and 8th grade girls basketball at East against East. On Thursday, January 23rd, 7th and 8th grade boys basketball home against Marlington, and 7th and 8th grade girls basketball is away at Marlington, and AMS wrestling is home against West Branch. On Saturday, January 25th, 7th and 8th grade girls basketball at Oakwood. And I think, this is Jack.
Hello AMS, it's Jack here with this week's main story. Today we'll be talking to Miss Kern with this about the spelling bee. So, Miss Kern, how is it hosting the spelling bee?
How is it hosting the spelling bee?
How is it like hosting?
How does it work, or how
Yeah.
do I enjoy it?
Like, how does it work?
How does it work? Well, this is my first time hosting it. In the past, Mr. Hammers has always hosted it. So the way that it should be working is that classes should be doing some classroom spelling bees in the coming couple of weeks, and then there will be a spelling champion from every class. And then they will compete in the school bee. So there should be one person from every English class in the grade level, and then they'll compete in the school-wide bee. And then the person that wins the school-wide bee is the school champion, and then they will compete in the regional bee that is at Kent State.
All right, Ms. Kern. So what happens behind the scenes of the spelling bee?
Well, it's a national company called Scripps National Spelling Bee. They're the ones who run the whole big televised national spelling bee. And they have a whole bunch of materials that they push out. So once we enroll as a school, then we get access to all of the study lists and the competition lists and a whole bunch of other additional materials that are optional for teachers to use as they're working on the spelling bees in their classrooms.
Right, okay. How difficult is it choosing a winner?
Well, it's not a matter of opinion, so it's not very difficult to choose because we don't choose a winner, right? The person who is last standing, spelling the right words, is the winner. But the words do get pretty hard. So there are over 800 words on the list. So the spelling does get pretty difficult.
All right.
Well, Ms. Kern, I gotta ask, what are some of the spelling bee words that you do?
Well, some of them start a lot simpler. You mean what words are on the list?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah. Some of them start a lot simpler, like shake, and pretty simple, like silent E, vowel, consonant, silent E type spelling patterns. And then they get to be more complicated. So some of the games that teachers have the option to play there's a game called Clump, where you group together words in different categories, maybe with similar spelling patterns, maybe from similar languages of origin, like words that come from French language will have similar spelling patterns, words that come from Latin will have similar spelling patterns, and things like that. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Okay.
All right. I gotta ask, who's your assistant in the spelling bee?
Miss Catherine Brooks, she is the one who announces the words, and she has run it in years past, worked with Mr. Hammers, so she helps me a lot, but mostly me right now.
Like, what do you win from the spelling bee?
What do I want?
Like, what do you win? Like, what does the...
What do you win?
Yeah.
I think you win a gift certificate to Encyclopedia Britannica, like an online account, access to all of their resources and stuff. And then once you get into the higher spelling bees, like the regional and the national bees, I believe there is a scholarship.
Okay. You just gotta ask, like, was your favorite student?
Who was my favorite student? Oh gosh, I don't know if I could even answer that one. I've had lots of favorite students.
You can have multi-answers if you want.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, every year there's I don't know. I don't think I could pick a favorite. Yeah, I haven't been in the classroom for about 4 years, or 5 years. Yeah.
Alright, well, I gotta ask, how long does a spelling bee last? Like, how long does it go on for?
Oh, well, that really depends on the spellers. Sort of depends on how fierce the competition gets, right? If you have like a real throwdown between two people who are pretty good spellers, it could last a while. I think in the past, last year, I think the spelling bee only lasted about an hour. But it could go much longer depending on, how much people have studied, how prepared they are. Yeah.
Okay. Real quick question. Is the spelling bee fun to you? Like
I think so, but I kind of like spelling, so I think it's kind of fascinating how our English language gets put together from all sorts of other languages that we've borrowed from. So I find spelling to be kind of a fun little brain teaser, if you ask me.
That's nice.
What schools do you go to host a spelling bee at? Like, is there different schools?
Right now, it's just the middle school that has that is organized to have a school-wide spelling bee. Hopefully, in the future, there will be more schools. Maybe AIS will do a school-wide spelling bee. I don't think it goes up to high school. I think the national spelling bee stops at 8th grade, and we haven't done one at the elementary schools yet.
Right. Okay. So, one last question before we go, right?
Yeah.
All right. Like, how many winners are there left to be? Like, what happens if there's a tie or no winner at all?
There can't be a tie because we can only send one person to the regional spelling bee. So there can only be one winner of the school-wide spelling bee. There can be multiple class champions. So a student might be the champion of their English class, and then they'll compete against those other champions. So in that sense, there could be multiple winners of different English classes across your grade levels, but there's only one school-wide champion. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for coming out with us and answering these questions.
Thank you. It was lovely to be here.
All right.
Thanks, Jack and Jaden, for the interview with Mrs. Kern. Now onto the student spotlight.
Right. Thanks. This week we'll be talking to Owen Zupanik about the spelling bee.
So, Owen, we heard you won the spelling bee last year. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
So, how difficult was it being in the spelling bee?
Not that hard.
How does it feel to win the spelling bee?
I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess.
Okay, gotta ask, do you think it was fair in the spelling bee, like, at all to you?
What?
Like fair?
Why'd you put the question?
What? Was it fair? Yeah. Like, there wasn't an advantage to anyone.
Okay. Anywho, did you like the spelling bee at all? Like,
Yeah. I wouldn't have went in for seconds if I didn't.
it's good enough.
So, what happened after you won the spelling bee? Like, what did you have to do after?
Nothing, but I got to go to the second spelling bee, the regional one.
Oh, that's nice. So, how long was the spelling bee like to you?
I don't know, like 30 minutes.
Okay.
How how what did you have to do to get in the spelling bee?
I signed up, and they let me in.
So,
I think that's the last question you answer.
did you already say how many questions there
I think you could ask that one.
were? Like, how many questions were there in the spelling bee? Like,
I don't really remember. It was like 4 or 5 each.
Hmm.
But I mean, it depends on how many people spell the words wrong.
and I think that's all we've got for you, right?
Yeah, I think that's all.
Again, thank you for coming out with us and answering these questions for us.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thanks. It really means a lot.
Oh, thank you again for joining us for today's AMS Talk Show. We'll see you next week. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, go Aviators!